Okay, so the last video I posted um, was yesterday. Yeah, I posted it yesterday. Just talking about, Black Lives Matter, and the things that we need to do to help ourselves and to make ourselves better people. Yeah, as you can see, my last one, I had my scarf on. I was sitting in my bed because at that moment, it just hit me and I just felt like speaking. So I just, made a video and just uploaded it. So, now on this one, I got my little hair done, little hair done, and my makeup on. So look a little bit more presentable. But anyway, so, again, like I said, for years and years and years, we've been going through this stuff with our Black communities and our Black people. They've been killing us off for decades, and we've been in this fight for decades, you know, and it just never seems to get anywhere. We have came very far. We did. We came very far. You know, we came far from what it was in the beginning. But now it seems like we're kind of falling back. I just wish that as Black people and young Black people that we realize how important we are to each other. We are extremely important. Our opinions count. Your voice needs to be heard. If you have something to say, say it. My mom, God bless her soul, she's been dead going on 7 years now. She raised us to speak our minds. Even though she was stern and strong and a disciplinarian, we were not afraid of her. We respected her, but we weren't afraid of her. So she always said to us, I'm your mom, I love you, I'm trying to do my best by you and do right by you. But if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. And not many parents say that to their children. Most parents are like, well, I'm right, that's the end of it, I don't want to hear what you have to say, and that's that and this and that. But I think that's what helped us become the people that we are, me and my two brothers, because we were allowed to let her know when she was wrong or when she did something that hurt our feelings. We were allowed to let her know. And for me, with my two children, I have a 13-year-old, like I said before, a 13-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. I let them know from the beginning, I'm not always going to be correct. I don't always know the answers. Talk to me. Let me know if I'm jumping at a conclusion and I'm totally off. Let me know. Pause me. Say, that's not right. You're wrong. Whatever it is you have to say. I told my children, you can say anything, as long as the presentation of it is correct. You can basically tell somebody to fuck off and not have to use the words fuck off. And they won't even know how to respond. You can just throw shade at people, and people don't even know how to respond. So like I tell my children, you could pretty much go in and go ham on a person without having to be disrespectful to the person. You just have to learn how to do it. It's a skill. It's not an easy skill to master, but it definitely is a skill to master. Deliverance is the key. If your favorite meal is steak, potatoes with gravy, and a salad, and it's always served perfectly, and you love it. And then one day you order that, or someone makes it for you at home and they serve it to you, and the steak is sideways, the gravy's not on the mashed potatoes right, the mashed potatoes is not piled up right, the salad's all spread out, the food is touching each other. When you cut into the steak, it's red, it's not well done, all depending on how you like the steak, because I like my steak well done, so that's why I'm giving that example. You no longer like that meal. That meal is disgusting. You want to throw that meal away. You look at the person who served it to you, that's disrespectful. Exactly. That's presentation. That's, like I said, you can present anything, and you can say anything, but it's all in the presentation. Again, like I said, I talked very, very, very heavily about how I felt in the last episode about how we treat one another as people, and it really is really, 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 really important. It really is. No matter what anybody says, we have to love on each other. We do. We have to show respect for each other. I'm repeating myself, but it's important. Prime example of ignorance. One day, I was going to the gas station. It was late, whatever. So it's about 10 o'clock, and I work the night shift now. And so there's only 2 pumps at this gas station, and as I pull up, there was a car in front of me. On the other side, there was another car that was just getting ready to pull up, so that's why I didn't go to the other side. So a person comes out the store, so I'm waiting my turn, and the person comes out the store. He opens the car door, the car that's in front of my car. He opens the car door and he grabs something out. Well, as he comes out the store, he looks me. The key thing is, this is what I want you to hear this. He looks me dead in my face, and he opens his car door and takes something out the car door, proceeds to close the car door and walk over to the car that's at the other pump. Okay. This is a person of color, my own kind. So me, I'm a person with little patience. Actually, I have a lot of patience, but I don't have patience for ignorance. So I sit there for maybe a couple of minutes. He doesn't acknowledge me. He doesn't acknowledge the fact that I'm waiting for gas. None of that. He didn't put up a finger saying I'll be 1 minute. None of it. None of it. Just none of it. Just looked at me and just whatever. She could wait. That was his look. His look was like, she could wait. Fuck her. Excuse my language, but that was his look. But I was calm, and I waited for 2 minutes, and then I blew my horn. Started blowing my horn. Started honking. So he comes and he's like, oh, you could have got out and said, excuse me, can you move your car? And I said, you also could have moved your car when you came out the store and looked me dead in my face. It didn't go any further. So he gets in his car. The female that he was talking to in the other car follows him. She stands there. They continue their conversation. And I'm saying to myself, look at this ignorant shit right here. The disrespect that we have for one another. Being spiteful. Looking for an altercation. Just because. So again, I sit there patiently for like 40 seconds. I open my car door, put my head out, and I'm like, excuse me. I have to get to work. Is gas going to be pumped, or are you going to move? Oh, give us a minute. He's going to move. Okay. Sit back. Down. Few seconds, they don't move. So again, they're pressing my buttons. So I sit there, like I said, I get back out and I said, look, I understand y'all probably haven't seen each other. Y'all need to talk or whatever. But can you move your car? Can you please move your car so I can get gas? Because I'm going to be late to work. People have things to do. And, she said goodbye. She said, of course. He said yes. Said goodbye and moved on. But all of that could have been avoided. It didn't even have to go there. Like, it didn't have to go there. I shouldn't have had to say anything to them, and they shouldn't have been trying to look for an altercation. It should have just been, if you come out, you already pumped your gas, you get in the car and you move the car, or you say, oh, could you wait a minute? I'm going to talk to my friend. But the real thing, what should have happened was you should have gotten in the car, moved your car, and told the person to come and follow me because you see somebody behind you trying to get gas. Common courtesy and respect for one another. That's all. Just craziness. This is what I'm saying. Craziness. Me repeating that. So me sitting here repeating this right now is getting my blood hot. Like, I'm just like hot. Like, whoo. Like, calm down. I'm getting upset all over again because it's crazy. That's one example of what I'm talking about how we don't respect each other as people, man. We just don't. It's like, psh, that's the attitude we have towards each other, but we always demand respect. We're always demanding respect. Always. Oh, you got to respect me. I'm getting mine. I got to have my respect. I'm going to get my respect. Why is that? Do you respect people? Do you respect yourself? If you respect yourself and respect others, then you're going to get that respect. You're going to get that respect. Um, and my mom was that person where she gave the respect. So it was automatically, no matter what type of person you were, you could be the baddest gangster. But if you stood in front of my mother, you was going to show her the respect. Because she earned it, she deserved it, and she gave it. Um, and a lot of people need to be like that. A lot of people need to be like that. And I think if people were more like that, the world would be a little different. It would just be a little different. You know, our children are out here um, in this crazy world. And it's scary. You know, you keep your kids, I keep my kids home, you know, what was it? 2 weeks ago, my daughter's middle school had a media threat. That was the second media threat within the school year. There was one in the beginning of the school year, and then one a few weeks ago. Media threats. Someone threatening to shoot up the school. When we went to school, we didn't have that. We didn't have that. The only time we stayed home because what? Because we didn't want to get jumped or people was picking at us or something like that. But you know, once that got solved, it was what it was. But we didn't have to stay home for 2 or 3 days because someone threatened the school to shoot up the school. So, you know, she had to stay home for a few days. So my little man goes to elementary school, and me being the parent I am, you know, kept his behind home too. You know, shoot, they talking middle school and high school threats, but never know, that may have been a ploy. So to protect, I kept him home. Just never thought that it would be coming to this, that I would be the person with children having to do this type of stuff, things with my children, having to do this with my children. The world has changed drastically since I was a child, and I'm only 47 years old. It's crazy stuff, man. You know, you want, as a parent, you want to do everything to protect your child. Everything to protect your child. Everything. You know, like Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. You know? Yes. So, you know, um, just getting my thoughts together here, getting my thoughts together, getting my thoughts together. You know, this is the first time that I started doing these videos. Maybe I'll get better. You know, I'm hoping to get better with them as time goes on, with my thoughts and what I talk about, because basically I'm just talking just from my head and my mind, and all the thoughts that are in me are just coming out. So I hope I'm making sense. You know, I hope I'm not jumping from story to story too quickly. I hope most of my dialogue goes together, and you can follow it pretty good. Like I said, I look to get, and as you can hear, that's my fire alarm going off. Now, mind you, I changed that 2 days. I changed the battery 2 days ago, and now it's telling me that. So you heard that through the whole video. That's fine. I ain't bothered to take it down. I don't care. I'll take it down in a couple of days. That's my smoke detector, actually. I apologize. My smoke detector. So, so yeah, we have to protect our children and raise our children right. And it's really difficult to do that nowadays with these children because these children are different. They're different. And having the type of technology that they have today compared to the type of technology we had back then, crazy. It's crazy. So this is why most of us don't have control. And I hate the word control, but this is why most of us don't know what our children is doing, and why most of our children are acting the way they're acting, because they have too much access to these technologies, to all these technologies, all these gadgets, all these things. I just started a TikTok page. My children had their TikTok pages. My daughter must have had her TikTok page for like the past 3 years. My son had one for about a year and a half. I just started one, and I had to call my daughter in to ask her, how do I upload pictures? I upload one video, but I didn't know how to get to my gallery on the phone to be able to do that. So, and of course I have an iPhone, it's just crazy. So she showed me, and I was like, oh, okay. So, one quick snap and I did it. But again, 47 years old, I should have known how to do it, but I didn't. I didn't, but now I do. Again, these kids are, my daughter was born with 2 teeth. Okay. These new millennium babies are being born, with their eyes open immediately, with their head up immediately, holding their own head up. My daughter's 13, and within a day, she was holding her head up. My son is 8, and he was holding his head up within hours after being born. My daughter was at 3 days old. She rolled completely over. 3 days old. 3 days old. She was in one position and rolled completely over. So, these children are something else. So, we parents, we people have to put on our roller skates, our rollerblades, and catch up and keep up with them. It's kind of hard to keep up with them though. I'll be back.